Hello, Watem here, welcome back to some more Umineko When Seagulls Cry. Let's continue. What will Genji be bringing them? The sudden appearance of Genji's voice made Natsui jump back and hurriedly wipe the tears from her eyes. Kraus stood in front of Natsui, shielding her.
Genji-sanか。驚かせないでくれたまえ。何か用かね？はい。申し訳ございませんが、奥様にご報告が。
私にですか？あなた。
構わんよ。
Kraus left Natsui's side, went to a window a short ways off, and gazed at the windy and rainy rose garden. Natsui went with Genji to a place a short distance away.
何事ですか？
はい。実はまた奥様にお電話が。
At that moment, a sudden eerie sound surprised her. There was a large clock in the hall announcing midnight.
まさかまたあの男なのですか？
はい。いかがいたしましょう。
要件は何だと言っていますか？
お答えいただけません。奥様と直接お話ししたいとの一点張りでございます。
Again, a phone call from the man who claimed to be taking revenge for something that happened 19 years ago. 19 years ago. That was just 1 year before Jessica and Battler were born. Natsui's eyes, the gap between 19 years ago and 18 years ago was immense. For a long time, she'd been unable to fulfill her role of creating a successor for the Ushiramiya family, and had been treated very coldly. But then, she finally gave birth to Jessica, became able to call herself the Ushiramiya successor's wife with her head held high. So in her eyes, Ushiramiya Natsui began 18 years ago. But everything before that, including the events of 19 years ago, contained nothing but hateful memories. And something from the last year of that hateful period is whispering vengeful words from the other end of the phone. I can still hear the roar of the sea.
いかがなさいますか？
私の部屋に転送しなさい。
Interesting.
主人には内密に。
かしこまりました。
Interesting. From the very beginning, Genji had guessed that she wouldn't want Kraus hearing about this phone call. That's why he had told Natsui covertly. Natsui ordered that he transfer the call, told Kraus that she would turn in for the night, and left at a quick pace. She returned to her room and locked the door. There's nothing peculiar about that. In the Ushiramiya family, hallways are like public roads. There's no special meaning in locking the door when you enter your own room. That's what she told herself. Then, as though it had been waiting for her, the telephone rang. If I brought up previously, we don't know when the lines get cut. This is an external... Oh, is it? Is it an external call? Genji had probably transferred the call. She took a deep breath, readied herself, and picked up the receiver. Again, it started with silence. It also could be a recording of... perhaps. She realized that the person at the other end was trying to irritate her and make her feel uncomfortable, and she got angry.
どうして黙っているのですか？切ります。
切るなよ、母さん。もう少し声を聞いていたいんだからさ。
Again, that unpleasant voice.
私を愚弄する気ですか？要件を追いなさい。
母さんと遊びたい。
何を言っているんですか、あなたは。私はあなたとなど遊びたくありません。
親族会議で疲れたんだよな。持病の頭痛はだいぶ辛いんじゃないか。
余計なお世話です。
Just the fact he knew her headache was troubling her made a shiver run up her spine. It's a well-known fact that she gets headaches. It's conceivable that information got out somewhere or another.
頭痛になるのは頭が凝ってるからだ。そのままベッドに入ったっていい夢は見られないよ。
だから余計なお世話だと言っています。切りますよ。
So he forcefully yelled that she was hanging up, but in actuality, she couldn't. After all, being at the receiving end of a phone call was much better than the alternative. She hung up violently. This person might then call someone else.
頭の凝りをほぐすためにちょっとだけ遊ぼうよ。何、時間は取らせない。
あなたと遊ぶ気などありません。
母さんの名前はナッティ。名前に季節を持ってるね。いい名前だ。でもナッティだからって夏が好きとは限らない。母さんが本当に好きな季節は何だい？
Where are you going with this?
それをあなたに教えると思いますか？
No, he's going to tell you.
教えてくれないなら
Oh,
俺が切るよ。
okay.
いいのかい？
It was clearly a threat. It meant that if she forced him to hang up the phone, anything might happen. Humiliated that she was forced to give in to a threat made by a man whose name she didn't even know, she gave him the answer he wanted.
秋です。
どうして？
過ごしやすい季節だからです。他に特に理由はありません。
Is it because it's after the family conference?
これで満足ですか？
ああ、満足だ。やっぱり母さんの好きな季節は俺と同じだった。俺も秋が好きなんだ。
Whether they're lying or not is another matter. Why?
嘘つき。出任せを言うんじゃありません。
Surely this man would have done the same thing no matter which season I said I liked. What is he after? What's so fun about making me uncomfortable like this?
嘘つきなんてひどいな。出任せなんかじゃない。俺は母さんが秋が好きだって確信してたよ。証拠を見せて。
Oh?
証拠？
ああ、母さんの部屋に時計はあるかい？
時計？ええ、ありますが、それが何か。
In Natsui's room, there was a beautiful antique clock with an intricate design. Rouse had bought it for her as a birthday present long ago.
今は0時7分ですね。もう眠いので、茶番を早く終わらせなさい。
その時計持ち上げてみてよ。
Oh.
どうしてです？
Some note left underneath.
いちいちうるせえな。俺の言うことにお前は歯向かうんじゃないよ。黙って言われた通りにすればいい。
The tone of the man's voice suddenly went low, turning into a threat. It made his displeasure clear. At first, this man seemed to have a calm way of speaking, but on the inside, that wasn't the case at all. She enraged this man even a little more. He would surely show his true nature right away.
そんなに電話を切られない。こうしてあんたに電話をしてるうちが花なんだ。あんたが19年前にしたことを俺はいつだってあんたの旦那や娘に話すことができる。
あなたが何の話をしているか知りませんが、夫や娘を巻き込まないでください。こうして私が電話を聞いていますから。
What happened by the ocean? Just do what you're told. Okay. Once again, the man threatened her in a low voice, as though warning her to not interrupt again. My head was filled with the pain from my headache, the sound of my beating heart, roar of the sea. Can't disobey him anymore. As the man had ordered, I lifted up the antique clock. There lay what appeared to be a single playing card. Is it the warranty for the clock? Thinking this, she took it and turned it over. What is it? But I'm gonna guess this is the reason why she's been killing people later on. I have a feeling something like that might be happening. So I get the feeling maybe if the card wasn't released to Autumn, I was thinking that one possibility would be, say, I have proof, and then have 4 different possible proofs. And depending on her answer, he'd use a different one. Say, look, I already knew. See? This thing. But I'm guessing it's some form of evidence against her. Blackmail her with. He called her a murderer. Possibly attempted. But he's going to use the evidence to force her to murder people he's close to. I want you to suffer? Matsui had never had anything so hateful said to her in her entire life. Though she suspected many times that she must have been having some sort of bad dream. However, this definitely wasn't a dream. Her blood froze. But although Erika had supposedly been brought here by coincidence, if he knew that name, he would have to be very close by. Sure.
電話だってそこいら中にあるしな。あんただって俺に会いたくないだろ。それとも俺を見つけ出してみんなに紹介してくれるのか。ジェシカにも紹介してくれよ。一つ
確かに構わないで。
怖がらせすぎだな。今夜はこれで勘弁してやるよ。だが忘れるな、あんたは俺に逆らえない。分かってるな、母さん。
Oh. Now that would be an interesting idea. Battler himself is not the culprit. But could he be the one blackmailing others into doing crime? And that's why he's the last one left? So the culprits in this case would be Natsui, but it's Battler causing Natsui to murder everyone? If Battler's... So if, for example, Battler wasn't whatever her name's child, but instead Natsui, and had his age forged to be 1 year later?
今夜はこれで電話を切るが、明日の朝まで命令がある。
何ですか？
あんたは今夜もうその部屋を出てはならないし、どこにも電話をかけてはならない。電話がかかってきても取ることも許さねえぜ。そして今すぐ明かりを消し、布団をかぶって寝ろ。
Interesting.
そしていつもの時間に起床しろ。
But she won't have any hope of having an alibi?
健康的な生活でいいな。母さんの体をいたわるなんて、本当に俺は親孝行者だよ。
わかりました。今すぐ寝ます。部屋も出ません。電話も出ません。だから夫と娘には。
母さんが俺の命令を守る限り、あんたの秘密は守ってやるよ。命令を破るなよ。俺はもうお前のすぐ近くにいる。部屋の明かりが消えるかどうか、そして電話をしているかどうかさえ、俺さえ望むなら。
守ります。約束は守ります。だからやめて。もうやめて。やめて。
As she screamed, Natsui took the card she had found under the clock and crushed it into a little ball. It had a pattern on it like a tarot card, and also kanji for autumn. Okay. Again, maybe under the phone there's a different card, maybe somewhere else there's another card for all the other seasons. Let's step back in time once again. Right now, it is the exact moment the large clock in the hall announced midnight. Wondering who the person who knocked twice was, relatives in the dining hall stared at the door. Rudolph told them to come in, but there was no answer. Until the end of that long tone marking the arrival of midnight, which had come from the large clock in the hall shortly after the knock. They were able to move in the slightest. They were unable to move in the slightest.
手が塞がってて開けられないんじゃないのか。
かもな。だが名乗らねえってのが薄気味悪いな。
開けますか。開けなさい。
Cannon nodded back, then slowly opened the door. No one's there.
それは
The letter?
これは親父の封筒？
Right behind the open door, on the floor of the hallway, lay the envelope.
廊下には誰もいません。これを置いて立ち去ったのでしょうか。
The adults flew out into the corridor as well. But they could find no trace of anyone who might have knocked on the door. Just an hour ago, Shannon and Cannon had come in to serve tea. At that time, everyone had seen that nothing lay in that spot. Someone came, knocked, left an envelope with a mark of one-winged eagle on it. Left.
まさか親方様でしょうか。
考えられない話じゃないわ。この屋敷で誰と呼ばれて返事をしないのはお父様くらいだもの。
ありえないわ。ならどうしてお父様は堂々と入ってこないの？
そうやな。お父さんだったらノックなどせずいきなり入ってくるやろな。今この屋敷は戸締まりがされとるんやろ。ならここに手紙を置くことができるんはクラウスさんか夏日さん、そして源氏さんの誰かしか考えられんで。
So Shannon and Cannon knew that it couldn't be Genji because he was somewhere else. Where? And what's he doing? At that time he'd be with Natsui and Kraus. That's when he just arrived there. But how would Shannon and Cannon know that he wasn't there? Especially an hour ago is when they arrived. How do they know where Genji is, and why wouldn't be him? By this point, the mansion had been completely locked up. Therefore, the cousins in the guest house, Nanjo, Gora, Kumasara, and Erika, could not have come here. Furthermore, since Kraus, Natsui, and Genji were the only three who weren't in this room, one of those three had to have been the one who set that letter down in the corridor. So it's very likely that Kraus and the others had placed the letter there to make it seem like a message from Kinzo.
なるほどね。お父様の名を語ってバトラ君を次期当主に認めないみたいなことが書いてあるのよ。
I get the opposite feeling. I think it's going to say congratulations to Butler, who's now the new head.
バカバカしい。兄さんめ、よくもこんな子供騙しを。
別に俺は次期当主なんて興味ねえぞ。
諦めろ。それがお前の運命なんだよ。とにかく中身を読んでみようじゃねえか。
Rudolph set the letter on the dining hall table and let everyone see the front and back, to show that there were no tricks or hidden mechanisms, almost like a magician does before performing his act.
この封筒は間違いなくお父様の封筒なの？ええ、間違いないわ。
Could it have been resealed?
お父様が新書に好んで使う封筒よ。どう、シャノンちゃん。
はい。私の目にも親方様が使われる封筒に見えます。
だからってお父様が書いたってことにはならないわよ。兄さんならお父様の書斎の引き出しからひょいと手に入れることなんて造作もない話だわ。
クラウス様とて容易に書斎には入りません。封筒を盗み出すなど難しいことかと。
開けてみようぜ。それから考えても遅くないはずだ。何か入ってるな。なんだろうな。
I mean, I would expect an envelope to have something in it. Rudolph opened the envelope a bit roughly. Then a folded letter, and a glittering object fell out. It was a ring.
ちょっと、その指輪。
Ever noticed it immediately and grabbed at it.
これ、お父様の指輪よ。当主の指輪だわ。
なんやて？ほんまか？
間違いなくお父様の指輪なの
？I don't like the fact that the clock was ringing at the same time for both scenes. Is there any way that could have been messed with?
レプリカということは？
これは本物よ。
Or perhaps what we saw with Kraus, Natsui, and Genji wasn't real? Or this...
私はいつかこの指輪を自分の指に通してやるとずっと夢見てきたのよ。 お父様が指にしてた時から私は誰よりもこの指輪のことをよく知ってるわ。これはお父様の指輪よ、間違いなく。どうしてここに？
じゃあやっぱりこの手紙はお父様が。
こりゃ差出人は親父じゃねえぞ。
Beatrice?
もっと面白い。
じゃあ誰からの手紙だったんだ？
後ろ宮家顧問錬金術師黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ様からだぜ。
Rudolph showed everyone part of the letter where that was written. It really did say that.
ベアトリーチェから？
なんて書いてある？
読むぞ。コングラチュレーションズ。バトラ様が碑文の謎を見事に解かれ黄金鏡にたどり着きましたことを認めます。黄金はすべてバトラ様のものです。そして後ろ宮家の新しき当主もバトラ様です。その証として金蔵様よりお預かりしている当主の指輪をお送りします。どうぞバトラ様、指輪をされて新しい黄金の主となり、どうか後ろ宮家をお導きください。新しき当主のご活躍を心よりお祈りいたしております。なんてこった。親父が書斎から出てこねえもんだから、森の魔女ベアトリーチが直接バトラを認めてくれたわけだ。
And I don't see a way that Rudolph would have the ring, or Kirei, in order to plant it there. And they acknowledged that it wasn't there the last time the door was opened. Who else could have planned for that?
バトラ君、この指輪はあなたが持つのよ。これが当主が身につけるべき特別な指輪。ベアトリーチェが何者か知らないけれど、彼女は一部始終を見届け、あなたが真の跡継ぎだと認めてこの指輪を贈ったのよ。
いいんすか？
Said by the person who most wanted to wear that ring.
こんな重要な指輪を。
ああ、いいんだ。誇らしげに指にはめるといい。いいか、兄貴や夏日さんが外せと言っても絶対に外すんじゃねえぞ。
All the relatives, with creepy smiles on their faces, urged Battle to put the ring on his finger. It looked like things would get pretty nasty if he refused, so Battle reluctantly decided to put it on the middle finger of his left hand. The ring was heavy and stiff. At that moment, Kraus returned. Genji came back as well, shortly behind him.
申し訳ないね。妻は具合が悪そうだったので先に休ませてもらった。何かあったのかね？
You could say that.
なんだか諸君がひどく慌ただしいようだ。バトラ様、それは。
Immediately, Genji keenly spotted that which Battle had just put on his finger.
さすが源氏さんや。お目が高い。これが誰の指輪かわかるようやな。
何の話だね。
Judging by Kraus's dubious expression, it seemed unlikely that he was the one who placed the letter there. You know, not the contents? That didn't tip you off? Furthermore, that expression quickly changed into one of shock.
そうよ、後ろ宮家当主の指輪よ。
Family conference took up this new topic, and the storm came once again. Shatter? No, it won't be a shatter. It's a scene transition. Okay, we're going to 3 AM? And that's where I'll stop it for today. I hope you've all enjoyed. Interesting. Who could have placed it there? And why? Yeah, interesting circumstances. I forget how much I said of the outro. I hope you've all enjoyed. Let me know if feedback you have in the comments, and until next time. See ya.